Hive monitoring systems have advanced greatly in the last few years. Their features have matured, and the equipment has become even more reliable and durable. This presentation will show how Hive monitoring systems investments save beekeepers a tremendous amount of time and money. Saving money on equipment starts by selecting equipment that will last a long time in the bee yard. Apiaries are exposed to months and years of rain, dust, and temperature swings that can overwhelm poorly designed equipment. Features such as buttonless controls, wireless configurations, and watertight enclosures ensure that your investments last trouble-free for years. Replacing batteries can also be a time-consuming effort. Furthermore, batteries that deplete in the middle of the nectar flow, or in the winter, are annoying to replace. Look for designs that only sip power sparingly, and whose batteries last for at least 3 years, if not longer. Some excellent designs will last well over 5 years or more, on a single battery. If designed well, Hive monitoring equipment will last more than a decade out in the field, in the harshest conditions. Weight is one of the most important characteristics of a hive, and is the source of a tremendous amount of useful information. There are several critical periods throughout the year, when tracking weight is extremely important for maintaining hives alive and healthy. 1. When the nectar flow starts, supers need to be added to prevent overcrowding and swarming. 2. When the nectar flow ends, the bees will immediately start consuming the honey. Knowing that point exactly, maximizes your honey economic gain, and directly affects your profitability. 3. Making sure that a colony has enough food to make it through the dearth minimizes colony death due to starvation, a common reason for losing a hive.
So having that live weight represented is critical as far as managing for honey production. It lets us know exactly when the nectar flow starts in the spring, versus before it was just kind of a guess. You know, you go into your hives and go, oh, it looks like some honey's coming in, but you don't really know. Now we see it. It turns on like a faucet. They'll go from a quarter to half a pound per day per hive loss, and then suddenly they gain 3 pounds in one day, and then it ramps up from there, hopefully 10 to 15 pounds a day. You know, so we never knew that. It was always a guess until we had the data to actually look at, and that helps us. You still have to work bees. Of course, you have to get your hands in the brood box and see what's going on there. But as far as knowing when to add additional supers, I run 8-frame gear, 8-frame deeps, and so I know there's about 30 pounds of honey, stored honey in a full box. So I know when I see it getting 20 to 22, 23 pounds gain from when I put that previous box on, I know that hive needs another box. And if I don't, then they're going to be on one of these tree branches behind me. So yeah, it definitely helps with that. And then when the nectar flow ends, again, they'll go from bringing in anywhere toward the tail end of the nectar flow, 5 to 10 pounds a day per hive, depending on hive strength and, you know, weather and all that, to suddenly they're losing half a pound a day. And well, there goes my paycheck. So it's, you know, I can buy sugar syrup buying sugar syrup is much more affordable than having them consume the honey. You know, and I can sell honey, I cannot sell sugar syrup. So it lets me know exactly when I need to get boxes off to extract and start feeding.
Unexpected weight gain or loss during a dearth can be a sign of robbing. Robbing is unwanted because robbing bees bring back diseases and mites. Hive weight monitoring can easily detect colonies that are robbing or colonies being robbed. Here is a weight profile of a robbing hive, and here is one of the robber and the robbie, both hive fortunately being monitored on hive scales. Swarming is easily detectable by characteristic weight changes as well. Swarming can be minimized, but when it happens it can also be detected, and the swarmed bees can be caught if the detection is early enough. This is a typical weight profile of a swarmed hive, with its characteristic drop in weight and slight recovery. Here is a graph of a hive suddenly having issues with the queen, and the associated temperature profile. The temperature drop reflects declining brood, and it is happening in peak season, a sure sign that something has happened to the queen. She could be dead or failing. This scenario surely requires the beekeeper's attention, who needs to go into the hive and see what is happening. The hive may be replacing the queen, but, if not, action must be taken before a laying worker situation develops. The weather is an important factor in beekeeping. Tracking the weather gives important information about the condition of the hive and the actions of the bees. Heavy rain forces bees to stay inside the hive and forego nectar collection. Cold weather can set back a hive for several weeks and weaken a hive considerably. Beehive inspection can be a significant expense of time and money, especially if colonies are located over several remote apiaries. Minimizing travel time and expense is important to beekeepers, and can be achieved by remotely monitoring beehives. The use of the internet cloud and modern affordable telecommunication technologies can allow beekeepers to know the status of their remote hives before visiting them. In some cases, trips can be minimized, thus saving significant expense if monitoring shows that there is sufficient feed, and supers don't need to be increased or decreased. Furthermore, the amount of feed to purchase and transport to the remote apiaries can be determined more precisely using remote monitoring data. It is important to have more than one hive being monitored in each apiary. Ideally, at least 3 or 4 hives per bee yard should have weight monitoring equipment. That way you can compare consistency of phenomena between hives, and differences between them will give hints about issues and potential problems. Solutionbee provides hive monitoring system solutions to both the hobbyist with backyard hives and the commercial beekeeper with remote apiaries. The flagship HM6 is Solutionbee's third-generation hive scale, with field-proven weatherability qualities. It accumulates weight and outside temperature hourly, and can have the data downloaded locally via a smartphone app, or remotely via Wi-Fi connectivity. High quality and durability are built into the design and production of the equipment. Hobbyist beekeepers, with hives close to their home router, can configure the HM6 to upload data through their home Wi-Fi. Commercial beekeepers can upload hive weight data through the use of Solutionbee's Hive Hub, which creates a Wi-Fi hotspot in remote bee yards. The Solutionbee Hive Hub, besides supporting HM6 hive monitors, is uniquely suited for supporting any number of Wi-Fi enabled devices, such as weather stations and cameras.
We're all the way at the back of campus. There is no electricity out here. The university's Wi-Fi system will not reach this far out. We're essentially in a dead zone, and I wanted to be able to have that information easily so that I could share it with my colleagues in the department, with the students, and beyond the department with the university. And the Hive Hub really makes that possible without any extra effort at all. It's a very, very simple system, and it works beautifully.
In conclusion, investing in weight and internal temperature hive monitoring saves hives and improves beekeeping costs and time management. Equipment purchase costs are quickly recovered by hive starvation avoidance and improved honey yield, as well as valuable labor time savings.